Hello everyone, welcome to my series on cloud computing, and today we are going to discuss static website hosting in AWS S3. Now AWS S3 doesn't actually support dynamic websites because it doesn't support server-side scripting. But for supporting or hosting dynamic websites, AWS provides its own web hosting solutions. So we're not going to discuss about that. We are going to discuss about how we can use AWS S3 buckets to host a simple static website. So let's start. So we are in our AWS management control, and from here we go to S3. Now if you've seen the previous videos, we had created few sample buckets and we tried out versioning. Now any of these buckets can be converted into a website, a static website. Now once you configure a bucket into a website, the URL of the bucket acts as the host name or the host URL for the website. Now let's see how that works. So in order to start with this, let's just create a fresh bucket. So I'll just name this bucket my AWS bucket SUMI 3, and I'll just put website. Keep the default settings and create the bucket. Okay, now the bucket is created. So now we click on this new bucket and we go to properties and come down to web hosting, static web hosting, website hosting, and click on edit and enable this. Now when we enable this, we are hosting a static website. We need to enter a index document. So this is the default document that will be triggered once the website endpoint URL is hit, right? So we name this document as okay, let's just keep it index.html. We need to design this document, and this is a error document that's optional, but in case a resource which is not available is hit via the URL, then this document will be hit. So let's just keep it error.html. We'll design this too, and let's just save changes. Okay, so now if you see under static web hosting, it gives the endpoint URL, the website endpoint, right? So when you click on this, once we are done with the page design and everything, once you click on this, that will trigger the website, that will launch the website. Okay, so let's move on to the next step. Okay, so let's just create a text file over here and rename this text file to index.html. Yes, right click and open with Notepad++. Okay, so here's where we're going to design the default page for our website. Now we start with the HTML tag. It's going to be a very basic website, so people who don't know HTML shouldn't find it much difficult to follow. So we start with the HTML tag and we put a body tag, and inside that we have to put one div for the header, one div for the left pane, one div for the center pane, we have a div for the right sidebar, and then we have a final div for the footer. And then we close the body and close the HTML tag. Okay, so let's just put some styling in the 4-5 divs. So this will have height as 10%, margin top 1px, and width should be around 100%. And we need to give a background color to this, so we can put a background color of blue over here, and let me just put a text over here saying my sample website. Okay, then we have the left pane, so let me just copy the styling from here and paste it over here, and this will have a height of 100%, or not exactly 100, it should have a height of 85%. It should have, it doesn't require margin top. The width should be let's say 20%. The background color could be silver, and we have a height, we have a width, we have background color, and then we need to make it float towards the left. We need to do the same thing for the right sidebar. It should be float right over here, and the remaining things should remain same. And then we have to design the wait, let me just finish the footer and then we'll come to the center screen. So on the footer we are going to do a height of only 5%, and the margin bottom should be 1px, and the width should be 100%. The background color can be black. And finally, on the center div we are going to do a styling of height as so 10 is here, 5 is here. We need to have a height of around 85% over here, and the width should be 2020. It should be around 60 over here. The background color needs to be white. So let's just save this, and wait, I need to have a, this needs to have a display property set to inline block. Okay, so now let's just double click and run this, and this is our sample page. So let me just put some content on the page. So the center div should say welcome to my sample website hosted on AWS S3. Save it and just refresh this. Okay, and let me go back to this and put a h1 tag over here, the h1 tag ending over here, and keep the text align center. And now let's go back to the page and refresh this, and that's basically my message. So this is the page we're trying to load on the S3 bucket. So when we hit the endpoint, the website endpoint for the bucket, this is the page we need to show. Okay, so let's upload this to the bucket. Okay, so now we are back to our AWS console. We have the list of buckets over here, and this is the bucket that we are configuring as a website. So we are going to upload the object over here. So we click on upload, and we click on add files, and we browse the object and bring it here. So okay, so I have brought the index.html over here, and let's click on upload, and it says upload succeeded. And let's close this and go back to my okay, so let's move on to the next step. Okay, so the first step is to make this bucket publicly accessible. So we click on the bucket and go to permissions and click on edit and remove block all public access. Just clear the checkbox, save changes, type confirm to confirm your action. Click on confirm, and this is done. Okay, so now if we go to this website, copy this, paste it over here, put a slash and put index.html, enter, and it says 403 forbidden. So we have publicly opened the bucket, but still there is one more step pending. Let's see what the step is. So coming back to our original screen, we need to click on this bucket, and we need to click on permissions, and there should be a bucket policy. Yes, we need to click on edit, and let me just refer the doc site for Amazon. Copy this and paste it here. This should be my bucket name, which is my AWS bucket SUMI 3 website. Save changes. Now let's go back to our properties and come down to the endpoint. Copy this, a new tab, paste it, put a slash, index.html, and enter, and the website is visible. So this is how we launched our website publicly from my S3 bucket. So not only did I have to make the bucket publicly accessible, we also need to set a bucket policy. Okay, need to complete both the steps and then the website is launched. Okay, now coming back to my objects, we uploaded index.html over here, but we did not upload the error.html. So in case someone types a wrong URL, we can upload a custom error file over here that will be loaded and presented to the user instead of the typical HTML error file. So in this way, we can host a static website using our Amazon S3 service. Just try this out on your own and let me know if you face any issues. I'll be happy to help you out on the comment section or post a video for you.